Very cool. Good eyes.
Great. Tough pocket find.
Billy Gerhardt has been the backbone of the excavation efforts on Oak Island for years, but lately his presence is a rare treat. Speculation is reaching an all-time high as the most famous operator on the island seems to have vanished into thin air. While some think he has quit the show, the truth is tied to the very ground he used to dig up every single day. The hunt for the treasure is entering a new phase that requires less brute force and more scientific precision.
That's a bit of clay there.
This stuff.
Yeah. Pretty definitive that shouldn't normally be there, right?
No, that could be blue clay right there.
Where have you seen that color before?
Money pit.
This change is exactly why the man in the excavator seat is currently missing from your screen. Vanishing excavator reality. Billy Gerhardt has spent more time in the mud of the swamp than almost anyone else in the history of the hunt. His expertise with heavy machinery turned him into a staple of the production, providing a sense of scale and action that viewers absolutely love. When a man becomes that central to the narrative, any change in his visibility is going to spark a massive reaction. Over the last few months, social media platforms and fan sites have been buzzing with a single question: where is Billy? This isn't just a small group of people asking, it's a global community of treasure hunters who feel that something is off. Many are not seeing the truth here because they are focused on the idea of a scandal. They look for signs of a fight between Billy and the Lagina brothers or clues that he was fired from the team. See, people love a mystery within a mystery, and Billy's absence provides exactly that. For starters, his presence in the war room has become increasingly rare.
Billy Gerhardt and Gary Drayton have just unearthed a potentially important discovery.
In previous years, he was there for every major meeting, offering his operational perspective on how to reach the targets. Now the chairs are filled with geologists and historians instead. It's not that simple though, because Billy isn't just an actor. He is a professional contractor with a real business to run. A lot of people are confused about his status because the show does not explicitly address why he isn't in every episode anymore. This creates a vacuum that is quickly filled with wild theories. Some fans believe that the legal hurdles on the island have become so intense that Billy's type of massive excavation is no longer allowed in certain areas. They point to the strict heritage laws in Nova Scotia as the primary reason his digger has been sidelined. While there is some truth to the difficulty of getting permits, it does not explain everything. The mystery of the missing operator continues to grow as the season progresses without a clear statement from the production. Nobody expected this to happen after so many years of consistent work on the island. New narrative focus. The way the story is told on television has undergone a massive transformation in the most recent seasons. For a long time, the show relied on the wow factor of big holes and massive piles of dirt being moved around the money pit. Billy Gerhardt was the hero of that era because he was the one physically making it happen. Basically, the show was about brute force and the hope that the next bucket of dirt would contain a chest of gold. But here is the deal. The search has moved into a much more technical and scientific phase. One of the most overlooked aspects of the current operation is the sheer amount of time spent in the lab.
I don't know if somebody wants to look, but you got 4 rocks all flat right there. You can see where the tops are scratched.
Yeah. You mean those four small ones there, Billy? Sort of?
Yeah, they're just kind of laid flat. I don't know if you're worried about it or pulling them out.
No, let's see what's under them.
We'll keep going.
Now the focus is on people like Laird Niven and Emma Culligan, who use brushes and small tools rather than hydraulic arms. When the focus shifts to archaeology, the need for a massive excavator naturally decreases. The producers are choosing to spend more time showing the analysis of tiny wood fragments and silver isotopes rather than 20 tons of earth being moved. This is a key detail because it changes who gets the most screen time. If the day's work involves sifting through buckets of mud by hand, Billy isn't the primary character for that scene. The search strategy now prioritizes the how and who of the island's history over the where of the treasure. This shift toward a documentary style that feels more like a historical investigation has pushed the operational side into the background. Many are not seeing the truth here, which is that the show has limited minutes per episode. If they spend 10 minutes looking at a piece of lead under a microscope, they have to cut 10 minutes of Billy digging a trench. It's a simple matter of editorial priority. Everyone is obsessed with the big finds, but the show is currently obsessed with the small clues. This new narrative focus means that the man who moves the most earth is no longer the man who tells the most story. The transition from power to precision has left the heavy machinery idling in the distance. Operational reality. Outside of the fame he has found on the island, Billy is a highly successful businessman in his own right. He owns and operates Gerhardt Property Improvement, a company based in Lunenburg County. This is hands down one of the busiest contracting firms in the region. While fans see him as a character in a story, his reality is managing a fleet of trucks and a crew of workers across multiple job sites. It's not just about digging one hole on a small island. It's about keeping a multi-million-dollar business running year-round. During the filming season, Billy has to balance his commitments to the search with his obligations to his private clients. There are still many rumors on the air, but what many can confirm is that his business has grown significantly since he joined the show. This success means he is in higher demand than ever before. Sometimes the real reason he isn't on camera is simply because he is 10 miles away paving a road or clearing a lot for a new house. The search on the island is a seasonal job, but his company is a lifelong career. And get this, the logistical support he provides to the team does not always require him to be the one in the driver's seat. He has employees who can move equipment and handle the transport of materials to and from the island. Just because you don't see Billy's face does not mean Gerhardt Property Improvement isn't on the clock. He might be providing the trucks that carry the spoils to the sifting station without ever appearing in a shot. The crazy part is that we often assume if someone isn't on screen, they are not there at all. In reality, Billy's function has become more about the logistics of the entire operation rather than being a visible personality. He is the man who makes the work possible, even if he isn't the one holding the shovel for the audience to see. The pressure of running a massive company often pulls him away from the island's spotlight. Evolving hunt dynamics. The geography of the hunt has expanded far beyond the boundaries of the original money pit. Today, the team is working on Lot 5, Lot 8, the Old Stone Roadway, and various spots along the shore. This means the resources are spread thin across many different locations at once. In the early days, everything happened in one spot, making it easy to film Billy in action every single day. Now, the action is fragmented. While the cameras are following a group of people looking at a stone wall on one side of the island, Billy might be doing essential work on the other side. The production cannot be everywhere at once. They have to choose which storyline is the most compelling for that specific week. Often, the scientific discoveries at Lot 5 are deemed more interesting than the routine maintenance Billy is performing elsewhere. See, the search has become more diffuse, which means the star power is also spread out among a larger cast of experts. We are seeing more of the specialists and less of the general operators. This is a natural evolution for a project that has lasted for over a decade. The team is no longer just digging, they are mapping, testing, and theorizing. This evolution means that the role of a heavy equipment operator is situational. Billy is brought in when there is a specific need for his skills, but he isn't required for the archaeologist's daily tasks. A lot of people are confused because they expect the same level of visibility he had during the swamp excavations of previous years, but that was a specific project that required his constant presence. Now that the swamp work has transitioned into more delicate research, his primary task is finished for the moment. The island is a big place, and the work is constant, even if it's not always exciting enough for a television edit. New locations demand different skills, leaving the excavator waiting for its next big moment. Ultimate Billy status. Everyone is looking for a scandal or a secret fight, but the truth is usually much less exciting than a heated feud. There has been no firing, no resignation, and certainly no bitter argument dividing the fellowship. It is important to remember that what is seen on a television screen is a very small, curated slice of reality. Many overlook the fact that if a man spends 10 hours a day clearing a gravel path or moving a pile of dirt for the 5th time, it simply does not make for good entertainment. Producers want the high-stakes moments and the big reveals, which means the routine work often ends up on the cutting room floor. Billy is likely on the island more often than anyone realizes, working behind the scenes to make sure the roads are safe for the trucks and the sites are ready for the experts. He is the one who literally prepares the ground for the cameras to roll. The search has moved into a phase that is much more surgical than it was 5 years ago. Instead of massive pits, the team is looking at tiny silver isotopes and wood samples that are hundreds of years old. This shift naturally favors people like the archaeologists and the lab techs who can explain the history of a single coin. Because of this, the man in the excavator seat is often waiting in the wings. This is a key detail because the show has limited minutes per episode to tell a story. If the day's work involves sifting through buckets of mud by hand for 8 hours, the heavy machinery just sits idling in the distance. Rick and Marty Lagina are focused on the data right now, which means the guys with the shovels and brushes get the spotlight while the heavy lifting happens when the cameras are turned off. It is a change in frequency, not a disappearance. Success brings its own set of challenges, and Billy is currently running one of the most successful contracting businesses in the area. His company, Gerhardt Property Improvement, manages projects that span across the province. Balancing a thriving business with the demands of a global television production is a massive logistical puzzle. Sometimes he is simply not in the frame because he is 10 miles away closing a deal or managing a crew on a different job site. The crazy part is that even when he isn't in front of the lens, he is involved in the high-level planning meetings that determine where the team will dig next. He is a businessman first, and his time is incredibly valuable. He has to prioritize the long-term health of his company over appearing in every single episode. And that is putting it lightly when you consider the sheer scale of the equipment he manages daily. The future of the hunt still relies on the power that only Billy can provide. The team knows that when the permits are finally signed for a massive excavation in the money pit, there is only one man they trust to do the job. The lower profile he has right now is just a reflection of the current waiting game the team is playing with local heritage laws. It is a transition from power to precision that has left the yellow excavator waiting for its next big moment. Billy remains a close friend and a trusted partner to the entire crew. When you wonder if all this happens overnight, you have to realize that these projects take months of planning and coordination. He is the silent engine of the operation, waiting for the moment when the brute force of his machines is needed to finally pull the treasure from the earth. Is the search changing too much for your taste lately? Do you think the big machines will return for season 14? If you want to see what else they're hiding deep in the money pit, click the video on your screen right now. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on every discovery.